Michigan baseball team exploded for 13 runs and 17 hits, taking a 6-0 lead after 3 innings and cruising to a 13-3 win at Purdue on Sunday at Alexander Field in West Lafayette. The Wolverines took 2 of 3 games from the Boilermakers in this Big Ten series. There were plenty of offensive stars on the day. Sophomore Travis Mazes went 3 for 4 with 4 runs scored, 2 doubles, and 2 ribbies. Sophomore Jacob Cronenworth also scored 4 runs to go with a triple and an RBI. Freshman Carmen Benedetti, Johnny Slater, and Jackson Lamb had 2 hits apiece, and senior Cole Martin and junior Jackson Glines each had 2 ribbies on the day. The Maize and Blue also received a quality start on the mound from fifth-year senior Logan McAnallen. McAnallen allowed just 5 hits and a run with 3 strikeouts and 4 walks in 7 innings to earn the win. The U of M defense also recorded 3 double plays on the day in the game's first 4 innings. Michigan back in action this week, sporting a record of 18, 21-1, 8-7 in the Big Ten. The number 16 ranked University of Michigan women's tennis team wrapped up its 5th straight Big Ten championship and 4th undefeated conference season in program history with a 7-0 win at Purdue on Sunday afternoon at the Schwartz Tennis Center. Michigan grabbed the outright title for the 3rd time in the last 5 years and won 11 Big Ten contests for the first time in program history. Michigan will be the number 1 seed for the upcoming Big Ten tournament and receive a bye into quarterfinal action on this Friday. Michigan will face the winner of the number 8 versus number 9 matchup on Friday morning at 10 a.m. The tournament is being held in Evanston, Illinois, on the campus of Northwestern University. So Michigan ends the regular season, with an overall of 19-3 and a perfect 11-0 in this Big Ten championship season. Senior Joanna Sampson and Sachi Sugiyami represented the number 7 ranked University of Michigan women's gymnastics team on the final day of the season on Sunday in the individual event finals of the 2014 NCAA Championships held inside the Birmingham Jefferson Convention Complex in Birmingham, Alabama. Sampson ended her phenomenal 4-year career on 2 events, very nearly winning back-to-back national titles on floor exercise. In the final routine of her career, Sampson, the defending champion on the event, shined on all 3 tumbling passes, bookended with a powerful double layout on the first and a double pike on the third. She was the second-to-last gymnast to go in the order and was tied for the lead with Oklahoma's Maliana Kanua and Haley Shaman before Arkansas's Catherine Grabs scored 9.9 in the final spot to overtake all 3. Michigan wraps up the 2014 season with a 28-8 record, winning the Big Ten championship and an NCAA regional championship and qualifying to the NCAA championships, where it finished 10th for the 20th time in the last 22 seasons. So congratulations to Joanna Sampson, Sachi Sugiyama, and the ladies gymnastics team. For the latest Michigan news and chatter, visit www.gbmwolverine.com and become a member today. You'll get an email when a story is published and have access to our very active message board, where Wolverine fans share their thoughts and opinions on anything and everything Maize and Blue. So visit www.gbmwolverine.com today and sign up for membership. Make sure you're in the Wolverine loop this spring and summer. We also hope you'll take the Michigan Man podcast along with you this summer. At the beach, on the road, wherever you go, it's getting easier to take the show with you. Here are just a few places where you can listen or download the show. If you're listening on your laptop or desktop, you can get the show from iTunes or directly from our site at www.themichiganmanpodcast.com. When it comes to apps, you have many choices. iTunes, the Android store at Amazon.com, there's TuneIn Radio, Stitcher Radio On Demand, the Windows 8 App Store, and Spreaker Radio. Starting this week, you can even find the show on YouTube. So whatever device you have or wherever you go, it's getting easier to take the Michigan Man podcast with you. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at the Michigan Man Podcast and follow us on Twitter at the Michigan Man. Again, my listener lines are open 24/7 for your calls at 313-263-4842. You can also email me at themichiganmanpodcast@yahoo.com. I really do enjoy hearing from all of you, so give us a shout anytime and share your Maize and Blue opinion or thoughts. Thanks again to this week's guest, Tim Sullivan. Tim is the recruiting editor at the Wolverine magazine and thewolverine.com. He does a bang-up job keeping all of us up to speed on Michigan recruiting news, and we cannot get enough of that, it seems. So thanks again, Tim, for joining us this week. Next week, my guest will be the new radio play-by-play voice of Michigan football, Jim Brandstatter. So I hope you'll make it a point to come back next week and hear my conversation with Jim. He's a great Michigan man, and it will be great hearing him bring us all of the action from the Big House, hopefully for many years to come, on the Michigan Football Network. That will do it for this week. I'd like to thank all of you for listening, and please spread the word about the show and the many ways you can listen or download us. And make sure you're back here next week to join Jim Brandstatter and myself. I'm your host, Mike Fitzpatrick. Have a great Wolverine week, everyone. Take care, and as always, go blue. Thanks for listening to the Michigan Man Podcast on GBMW Go Blue Michigan Wolverine. You can find us on the web at www.gbmwolverine.com. That's www.gbmwolverine.com. For audio posts or other fan feedback, please call our listener line at 313-263-4842. That's 313-263-4842. Email fan feedback to the Michigan Man Podcast at yahoo.com. That's the Michigan Man Podcast at yahoo.com. The Michigan Man Podcast on GBMW Go Blue Michigan Wolverine is produced at the studios of Robin Lynn Productions, Allen Park, Michigan. The Michigan Man Podcast is not affiliated with the University of Michigan. Go Blue.